Just be mindful of the clock that's in front of you. So, Ms. Griffin, if you can begin whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Chairman McDuffie, Chairman Grasso, and other distinguished council members. My name is Jennifer Griffin, and I am here today in support of amending Bill 243. As legislation currently stands, I applaud your efforts to put AEDs in all schools. However, an AED is merely a tool in the process to save a life. Without someone to operate the AED, it is simply a machine, and without the majority of the population being aware of how and when to use the AED, it could very well go unnoticed and unused in an emergency situation. This was proven most recently in this very building when an employee collapsed. A more comprehensive bill would include at least the training of students, if not the faculty in schools. And I'm here today to share the story of my daughter, Gwyneth. As you can see on the third page of testimony, Gwyneth was a happy, compassionate 12-year-old girl. She had recently been inducted into the National Junior Honor Society and won the school and state regional science fairs. Although born with a heart murmur, she was an avid dancer. She always had a smile to share, whether she had just met you or known you her entire life. On June 8, 2012, she went to school early for a day of activities focused around healthy eating. Her father joined her that day and later went to the adjoining school to be with our younger daughter for field day. Around 10 o'clock, several students came running to my husband and told him that Gwyneth had collapsed on the track and he needed to come help her. The closer he got, he saw her laid flat in a ditch and no one by her side. No one doing anything. Upon reaching Gwyneth, he started CPR and was later joined by a substitute teacher who happened to have been trained EMT. Together they worked to regain a pulse. I want to point out, though, it was Gwyneth's friends that day that took the initiative to go get help, to go get the principal, to go get the AED. When emergency services arrived, she was transported to a local hospital and then flown to Richmond. We spent 7 weeks repairing all of the organ systems damaged by her collapse, at which time we were then told she had suffered a devastating and unrecoverable anoxic brain injury. On July 30th, Gwyneth passed away, all because of the time from when she collapsed till my husband arrived. No one did anything. During our time in the hospital, we wrote what would be known as Gwyneth's Law. And in Virginia, in March 2013, this law was passed. Since the passage of Gwyneth's Law, 4 lives have been saved. 2 of the lives saved by teachers on school property during the school day. Those 4 individuals are alive and well today because the faculty knew what to do and the AEDs were available. CPR has been written into the Cornerstone program here in DC as 7th grade and high school objectives. By amending Bill 243 to include the training, you are guaranteeing that CPR remains a requirement across the district in perpetuity. By joining Virginia and Maryland, DC's 5,000 graduating seniors will add to the 145,000 trained lifesavers across the National Capital Region. I want to leave you with 3 things today. CPR training is already written into the DC curriculum. The only new requirement is for health teachers to annotate in students' records that they completed the training. This does not affect high school graduation requirements. Second, Gwyneth's friends repeatedly told us, had they known what to do, they would have acted. It was those same students who took it upon themselves in the 7 weeks that we were in the hospital to become CPR certified themselves. Finally, as you heard from a doctor, and now you're hearing from a mother, the brain dies within 4 to 6 minutes. The national average response time for EMS is 6 to 8. Without properly trained individuals, people suffering an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest have little to no chance of recovering a productive quality of life. If amended, Bill 243 can ensure that time is not lost, especially since the individual with the patient is the true first responder. The requested amendment to this bill is not only the right thing for DC public schools, but the right thing for the overall health of individuals suffering cardiac arrest across DC. I respectfully ask for your support in creating a new generation of lifesavers by writing a more comprehensive bill to include the training of students and teachers of DC public schools. Thank you for your attention to this important issue and your commitment to the health of all DC residents.
Thank you for your testimony, Ms. Griffin, and for sharing what I imagine is a pretty tough thing to talk about and a deeply personal issue. So thank you. Doctor?